Okay, so you have questions. We understand you have questions. We understand that you've got this project you're all excited about and interested about, and we understand that you have thoughts and all that kind of stuff about this. So the invitation we're extending to you is to use this as a great example to collectively support the journey, and also to bring into this moment the opportunity for you to practice collaborating on connecting to insight by using the group energy you have around a specific subject to access and further, sort of grease the wheels for you all to connect in a new way to insight. So what we see when the guardians work with you is that you're very able to bring yourself into the center, you're very able to focus, you're very able to align yourselves now, and then when they start talking about now you're going to connect to insight, you go right back up into your head, into your third eye, and you start to get into question mark land. So what we're going to invite you to do is to take that question mark land out of the third eye, and then through loving yourself, you drop it into your heart chakra. So it's like, yes, I'm a person with a lot of questions, but I'm also a person who loves themselves. So it's like, I'm going to love my questioning state rather than trying to change my questioning state. See, when you have questions, you want answers to resolve the questions. So you're looking to change the state you're in. What we're inviting you to is to love yourself enough to let the fact that you have questions be the be that you are. What is. I have questions. I'm a person with questions. And then drop it out of your head into your heart more, where you can say, I can love the position of being in question. And from the position of loving the fact that you have questions, what it actually kind of does is frees up some space for your soul to get in there and share the space with you. So we're going to invite you, we can see it very clearly, the energetic of your soul's energy waiting to express with you. So we're going to invite your soul's energy to drop in more. And again, if questions arise right now, love yourself enough to move those questions into the heart chakra. So as questions arise, just allow that space to be cleared. Good. And then as the soul's energy comes in, do not decide ahead of time what the soul's energy is going to feel like, taste like, smell like, sound like, be. Just allow. Very good. Well done. Just allow it to drop in. Nicely done. And share the space with you. Just let it share the space with you. Let it share this. Nicely done. Let it share that space with you. And as that space is shared, ahas can come, insight can come, clarity can come. So here's the tool, right? You have questions, you're wondering. Love yourself enough to not demand wondering change, which drops the wondering into a higher vibrational space of love, appreciation, fascination, which clears the way for your soul's insight to drop in. And it takes you out of that hyper mental place that, thinking about it would have gotten the job done. If thinking about it could get the job done, you would have gotten the job done long ago, because you sure enough have thought about it long enough. So you don't want that hyper thinking to be your state of being. You want the love for the actual state you find yourself in to blossom in you so that you can bring in insight. Let's just breathe together a little bit here. Now, we've talked to you guys about the fact that we're prepping for the entry of the warrior, and we don't know if their energy is coming in tonight or not, but it could happen, so prepare yourselves. But we want to just look at shadow stuff with you for just a little bit beforehand. And what goes on here with the shadow thing is this. You're taught as spiritual beings, as spiritual aspirants, as light workers, that there is a real importance on intention and attitude and outlook, and you create your own realities, so you've got to be really careful what you allow yourself to think. And there's a lot of this go on, right? You all are familiar with this. And all of those things are true on certain levels. We're not trying to discount that. We've taught about it in the past as well. But you're really at a point now where you have a place between, okay, everybody needs to breathe because you're all getting freaky in your power chakras. We're going to have the guardians come back in, or can we breathe this one out? Okay, better. You're now at a level where you can explore without creating. Okay, what this means is that you're able to say to yourself, I recognize that looking at my shadow side is not creating with my shadow, it's transforming my shadow. Okay? Because what has happened in the past is, because of habitual response and because of the unconsciousness, if you experienced it, you started creating from that place because it kind of consumed you. Now you're able to be conscious enough that you can hold within yourself and say, I'm interested in my shadow, and I don't have to be afraid that I'm creating from my shadow. It's like you can say, I can think about my nightmare that I had without knowing that I'm going to make myself have another nightmare. Or I can evaluate my nightmare that I had last night without believing that you're going to, quote, make it come true. That's kind of the most similar place we can go. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
So, when you look at your shadow side, we want you to use the tool of what we've talked about with your collapsing lifetimes, which is, I only need the high vibrational aspects of this. Okay? Because what can happen is when you tap into your shadow, you can get very emotional. And if you go with the emotion of it, rather than with you holding the center of the experience, do you understand?
Yes.
You, as the personality self that we're speaking to, in this moment are required to hold the center of the experience and be the ringmaster, be the one who decides what comes next. The temptation will be to go with the emotional content of the message and what it brings up, rather than scraping off what it's best teaching you. But we've taught you about how emotional states are choices. Sometimes they don't feel like it. Sometimes they come on instantaneously. But you know, as a creator, that they are a choice. And we acknowledge right off the top that strong emotional states don't feel like choices. And we insist that they are. And we got to all be on the same page with that, or else this is not going to make any sense at all as we move forward. Okay. So we've got the knowing that this is a choice, we've got the scraping off the high vibrational aspects, and we've got the recognition that you are a creator of your reality, but you are not necessarily creating from every thought you have and every emotional state you have. Doesn't dictate your next moment. Your internal experience of you is what's creating the next moment. And when you look at your shadow, you can become incredibly empowered through that process. So that empowerment creates the next moment, not the emotionality or the fear or the, quote, darkness you may have experienced when you see it.